Mega Kangaskhan is one of those Pokemon that you just find useless unless you have it in its Mega form. But why is that? Why is Mega Kangaskhan the only form of Kangaskhan we ever find anywhere outside of, any other kind of competition? Whether it's, it's a competition that allows, like, say, Generation 1 Pokemon or allows Mega Pokemon. If you ever see a Kangaskhan, 100% it's going to be a Mega. So why is that? Well, let's look at its stats. Let's look at its abilities, and we're going to examine why that is. So first of all, when we look at base Kangaskhan, just regular old Kangaskhan, we see that it has 3 abilities. First of which is going to be the Inner Focus. Next is going to be Scrappy, and then Early Bird. Not in that specific order, but Inner Focus is going to be its hidden ability, which which prevents it from being flinched and etc. Scrappy allows it to hit Ghost Pokemon with any type of move. So normally, normal type moves would have no effect against Ghost Pokemon. Same with like fighting type moves, they would have no effect against any Ghost Pokemon. But with the Scrappy ability, it makes it so that those moves actually hit. And then you have Early Bird, which just wakes it up a turn early. So there's that. That's not the best collection of abilities. As for its stats, 490 is not exactly the strongest of stat totals you can have. I mean, you got a very respectable physical attack, you got a very respectable health pool, you have a very respectable speed in the 90s, and defenses are pretty good. These are actually nice stats for, physical attacking Pokemon. These are nice stats you'd have. You definitely don't want to make use of the special attack, not exactly as strong as with 40. But for a standard physical attacking Pokemon, there's a lot of Pokemon out there that would like to have these stats. But other than that, it's not exactly pretty particular. It's just a normal type Pokemon with some punching moves that can make use of. It has a lot of normal type moves and some dark type moves, especially Outrage, a very powerful dragon type move. But other than that, it doesn't have the best of move pools. As for egg moves, it learns a lot of fighting type moves and a lot of normal type moves. But again, nothing, to write home about except for the double edge. And maybe or not even trump card, but the hammer on and the double edge. As for move tutors, well, that's where it learns a lot of its firepower. Emphasis on firepower. It gets access to all the elemental punches. It's got access to Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. It has access to, Drain Punch to give itself some health while dealing damage. It can learn Aqua Tail, it's a powerful water type physical move. It has access to Spite, I don't know why, Spite of all things. It has access to the Outrage, but then again it learns that naturally. Low Kick, it's a decent enough fighting type moves. It even learns Helping Hand and Iron Tail. I don't know why they, again, I can't understand why Spite. But anyway, let's move it on. It also learns some very powerful physical type TMs. One of them being Earthquakes and Brick Break. So this is all very, very impressive moves for Kangaskhan. But again, no one ever uses normal Kangaskhan, which is kind of sad because you can pretty much predict why. And the reason why is because once it goes into Mega, oh man, that's it. All bets are off the table because it has access to one of the strongest abilities in the game at the moment, for Mega Pokemon, and that is the Parental Bond ability. Ooh, excuse me. But in any case, the reason why this is so powerful is because Parental Bond allows it to hit twice in one move with physical attacking moves that make contact. So if you were to hit someone with, like, say, Rock Slide or Earthquake, that's not going to do a whole lot of damage because it's only going to hit one time. But if you hit someone with, like, a punching move, for example, if you hit someone with a Fire Punch, that's twice they get hit. And that's twice you have a chance to actually burn them. So that is a very powerful ability. But the second hit is not going to be very powerful. Like between generations 6 and 7, Mega Kangaskhan got a little nerf so that the second hit's not as powerful. Like a 50% reduction in the damage that the second hit does. And that was pretty dangerous. But the reason why people used Mega Kangaskhan is because of Generation 6 Mega Kangaskhan. So if you went back into Generation 6, you went to Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and scrolled all the way down, one of the moves that Mega Kangaskhan could learn was Power Up Punch. That is why people love using Mega Kangaskhan. Because normally in Generation 6 and from then on, any Pokemon that learned Power Up Punch could hit an opponent with some minor damage. You know, it's only got a 40 base power damage, but that hit will increase the attack power of the Pokemon that uses it by 1 stage. So think of it as a free what am I trying to say? Like a free Dragon Dance without the speed. Not only do you deal damage, but you increase your attack power. So if you can just hang in there for like 1 turn, you can just snowball with a Pokemon that uses Power Up Punch. And that is what Mega Kangaskhan did. Because the effects of Power Up Punch doubled because the second hit connected as well. So 2 Power Up Punches, 2 attack stage increases in one turn. It was like a free Assault Vest, or not a free Assault Vest, but a free weakness policy while dealing damage. So that is why people use the Mega Kangaskhan. So once again, we're going to go into the Power Up Punch. Stats can be raised up to a maximum plus 6 stages, and Power Up Punch deals damage and raises the user's attack by 1 stage. So that is why people use Mega Kangaskhan for the Power Up Punch, and that explains why Mega Kangaskhan was so very dangerous. Now, in Generation 7, Mega Kangaskhan does not learn the Power Up Punch. As you can see, Power Up Punch is no longer available for Mega Kangaskhan. However, Mega Kangaskhan is still a very dangerous threat to behold, and if you don't treat Mega Kangaskhan with the respect it deserves, it will beat you down. It still has access to a lot of the punching moves. It still has access to the Fire Punch. It still has access to Drain Punch. It still has access to Iron Tail and Thunder Punch. It still has access to all of its capabilities, just no Power Up Punch. So that's that. But it still has access to one of its most dangerous abilities, and that is the Priority Fake Out. So normally Fake Out, you just slap someone once with the Fake Out, they flinch. But with Mega Kangaskhan, you can hit someone twice with a Fake Out. Sure, the second hit isn't going to do anything, it's just going to increase the extra damage, and this is a stab boosted Fake Out, hitting you twice. Sure, the second hit isn't as powerful, but that is still a lot more damage than most people would be used to for just a normal Fake Out attack. And it still has access to a lot of its firepower. It still has access to its Outrage, and it still has access to one of its more dangerous moves, Sucker Punch. Again, if you can hit someone twice in 1 turn, that can do a lot of damage. First hit breaks a Focus Sash user, and the second hit can, if they're not strong enough, or not strong defensive enough, that's gonna knock them out in 1 shot. So 1, 2, 3, boop. And here we go. So here we are on Damage Calculator. So this is again just to demonstrate just the power of the Mega Kangaskhan. Once again, I am using my Pheromosa. And the reason why is because Pheromosa is ideal for just demonstrating to people that Pheromosa is not a major threat. I mean, yes, it is a major threat, but you don't have to treat it like it's the end of the world if you see a Pheromosa on the other team. It's a glass cannon. And this just demonstrates how powerful Mega Kangaskhan is against one Pokemon that everyone seems to be afraid of. So if we're looking at Pheromosa versus Mega Kangaskhan, you'd think based on these percentage calculations up top, I don't know if you can actually see them all, but based on these damage calculations, you'd think that a Pheromosa would have no problems against a Mega Kangaskhan. 1 low kick, boom, it's dead. That's it, GG. But then you realize Mega Kangaskhan has tricks up its sleeve. First of all, like I said before, the Fake Out. So double Fake Out goes into the Pheromosa. That's going to be the end of Pheromosa's Focus Sash if it has a Focus Sash. And it's going to flinch. There's just no question to it. Fake Out will force a Pheromosa, force any Pokemon that gets hit by it to flinch. Sure, it's not going to work on Ghosts, but it will still force Pokemon to be flinched unless they're protected by moves such as like Inner Focus, or abilities like Inner Focus, or you use a protection move like Protect. But in this case, this is a Pheromosa Uber All-Out Attacker. It's not going to have Protect, it doesn't have that benefit. It's only going to be attacking, so that is going to be what Pheromosa does. But you think, alright, Pheromosa just endures the first attack, that's it. It's not the end of the world. Sure, it'll lose a lot of health, but it'll still come back and kick butt with its low kick the next turn. Well, no, because Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch, follow up Sucker Punch. That's going to be the end of the Pheromosa. If the 65% low damage count onto the Pheromosa isn't enough to force the Pheromosa to swap out, then the 38.3% damage will finish off the Pheromosa. Combined with the Fake Out and the Sucker Punch, unless you get the lowest of low damage, you're gonna knock out this Pheromosa 1-2 punch, literally. First the first up Sucker Punch that deals like 38 damage, or 38% damage, and then the second punch, which will deal, slightly less damage, but will finish off the Pheromosa if it's still standing by that point. So this goes to demonstrate just how powerful and how dangerous Mega Kangaskhan is, and explains why people use it so much and why it is such a big threat to many teams and many opponents. Mega Kangaskhan is not like the greatest Pokemon around, but if you don't respect its power, if you don't give it the respect it's due, you don't at least try to plan around it, try to play around it. If you don't try to predict it, at least predict some way what it's going to do, depending on what it's going to do. It can either be, depending on what the rules format are, it can either be the Generation 6 Power Up Punch Mega Kangaskhan that's transferred up, or it can be just a standard Mega Kangaskhan from Generation 7. Either way, you have to respect Mega Kangaskhan and the power it can bring. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys all learned why Mega Kangaskhan is so dangerous. I apologize for all the stuttering. I'm really bad when it comes to this stuff. But I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!